Man, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Tyrone Hunter, back with another edition of What's Really Good Entertainment. If you've been rocking with the channel, I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with your boy. If you're just checking in for the first time, hit the like button on the way in the door. Hit the subscribe button on the way out the door. Make sure you check my community page, for updates. I'll be dropping stuff there, as well as make sure you check my shorts if you're interested in motivational quotes and things of that nature. Just trying to give, you understand? So you know my motto. You see the title. I'm not going to hold you. Today we're going to be talking about Bandman Kevo, and is he a deadbeat dad? And it's his sons who was recently murdered in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's his son, blood on his hand. So if this is what you want to listen to, and this is what you want to hear, and this is what you want to learn a little bit more about, man, hit the like button and share the video. Make sure you stay to the end of the video, because you already know it get real spicy on this side. So let's get right into it. So first and foremost, rest in peace to Bandman Kevo, Bandman Kevo's family, as well as the mother of Lil Sticks, who's the son of Bandman Kevo, who was murdered in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So if y'all didn't hear, or if y'all don't know, first and foremost, let's give you a little background. Who is Bandman Kevo? So Bandman Kevo is a scammer slash rapper slash finesse god slash he gonna give you the game and show you how to run up a bag slash became YouTube famous slash they say he got millions. That's who Bandman Kevo is. Say he held out of, Chicago. It was a big indictment some years back for Bandman Kevo and a couple of other people who was doing some real big scams. But at the end of the day, Bandman Kevo is supposed to be kind of financially successful. And if you want to know more about him, then you could go and check out his page, check out his videos, see what he got going on. And recently, his son just got murdered. His 15-year-old son just got murdered in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's supposed to be somewhere outside the city limits in a nice area, nice enough area. You see his stepfather speaking out, the mother speaking out, his family speaking out. Everybody had love for him. Bandman Kevo, upon hearing that his son was murdered, she put a post up on IG saying he got $100,000 for information that leads to him discovering what happened with his son. Some people were saying, if you're going to put up $100,000 reward, why didn't you put up $100,000, or why didn't you invest $100,000 into your son so that he ain't have to be running the streets crazy? So as a result of that, and, information has come out that Bandman Kevo hasn't really been active in his son's life. His son don't see him much. He's paying child support, and that's supposed to be the reason why him and the kid's mother is at odds. And people is just dragging Bandman Kevo all over the internet. When I first thought about this video, I said I was going to drag him too. But I had to realize that it's always two sides to a coin. So now we're not going to say which side of the coin is right. We're not going to say which side of the coin is wrong. We're just going to say that it's two different sides of the coin. Bandman Kevo was paying child support, and because of whatever issues he had with his daughter's mother, he decided that child support was efficient and she going to raise the child, and that's that. That's what it looked like. Could he have done more as a father? Of course he could have. Is it his fault that his son is dead? Of course it's not. Is it his fault that his son was out there robbing and stealing? Of course it's not. And let me tell you why. See, people right now are basing those comments on the fact that Bandman Kevo had money. Now, a lot of black men, as well as a lot of men out there in general, are not successful like Bandman Kevo is. So let's look at the story where if he wasn't financially successful, what would the conversation be then? Would you still blame the father because of the choices that the child make? Had to take a pause on that. If you agree, like, comment, share, subscribe. Now, parents cannot be blamed for the choices that a child make. However, parents being involved and engaged in the children's life, teaching them, being part of their process of learning, growing, and developing, it has an impact on the choices that they make. So because Bandman Kevo's father wasn't really in the story, it seemed like his son, just like so many other young kids and young teenagers, they gravitate towards the streets because they looking for love. They looking to be a part of something. They're looking to be accepted, so forth and so on. They're saying that Bandman Kevo's son grew up in a nice neighborhood and, he was a good kid for the most part. He just made some bad choices. Now, if we look at what's going on in this culture right now of teenagers, 13, 14, 15, and 16 years old, this is what they doing. Running around with guns, robbing, stealing, scamming, breaking into cars. Most of these teenagers is not even listening to their parents. So, again, let's ask the question. Is Bandman Kevo or his mother responsible for the choices that the child was making? No. You can't drag Bandman Kevo for being an absent father because in the black community, most of the fathers are absent. Most of them, the great majority of fathers are absent. And I don't think it's only the black community. Other communities and other races as well experience circumstances where the father is not in the household for whatever reason. You could blame the mother, you could blame the father, you could blame whoever. Bandman Kevo could have done more, to be in his child's life and for his child's life. And I think that because maybe him and the mother didn't have a great relationship to start off, because Bandman Kevo was living his life, he was moving around. So this is probably somebody he dealt with, some years back. She had a baby. He went to prison. He did his time. He came home. They really didn't have a strong relationship. So this is kind of where things are right now. Is it right? Is it wrong? It's called life. It's called life. But it does seem that Bandman Kevo's son picked up some of the things that he was doing. He's out here robbing and he's out here, he just into a whole lot of things, street stuff. Bandman Kevo posted a picture up of his son. He got a gun with an extended clip in one pocket and holding another gun with an extended clip in one hand. That go to tell you the type of time that he was on. Bandman Kevo is not on that time, so he didn't influence his son to do that, to be that individual. If he see his father is out here getting money the way that he's getting money, he could have very well did interviews and ran up a bag just because he's Bandman Kevo's son. Or he could look at what his father is doing and, try to run it up that way. But the other thing that we have to understand about teenagers is once they get to 12, 13, 14, and 15 years old, they start doing a thing called smelling themselves, right? For y'all younger people in this younger generation that don't know what smelling yourself is once kids get 12, 13, and 14 years old, they want to do what they want to do. They don't want to listen to their parents. They don't want to hear what their parents got to say. They feel that they got all the answers. They start becoming rude and disrespectful to their parents and all kind of things. And it kind of seems like this is what happened with Bandman Kevo's son. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying this is what it looked like because this is what teenagers are doing out there nowadays. You got teenage kids that come from good households. We could even go way, way back in the drill culture. And if you look at Lil Jojo came from the suburbs. He came from a good family. He wanted to run out there to the city in Chicago and be, running around with his drill music and drilling and killing and talking about this, that, and the third. The boy was from the suburbs. And some of the kids from the suburbs, because they grow up in the suburbs and they're seeing, how other kids are living that are from the city that are forced to live this life or that have no choice but to live this life because this is the environment they come from. These suburban kids want that life. These suburban kids want to be part of that. They don't like the fact that their parents sacrificed and made it possible for them to live in a good neighborhood. And if he lived in Kalamazoo, he lived in a fairly decent neighborhood because how often do you hear of Kalamazoo? So what I want to say is, before we go so hard to bash Bandman Kevo for not being there for his son, or because he got money, why nobody's talking about all of the other fathers who done left their kids and wasn't raising their kids? For instance, my father. He ain't raised me. And most of the kids that I know, their fathers wasn't in their life. Their father didn't raise them. A lot of dudes that went to the streets, you know, that you see on YouTube, that you hear about, came from single-parent households. And then you have some kids that came from two-parent households that was still running the streets. So it's not on the parents. It's not on the parents. Whether Bandman Kevo and his baby mother or his son's mother had a good or bad relationship. The child made his own choices. And if the mother wasn't running the street and Bandman Kevo was not in the streets robbing and stealing, then where did he get this influence from? So what I would say is we have to stop blaming the parents, other adults, and family members and relatives for the decisions that kids make. Because at 13, 14, 15 years old, outside running around with guns, to be honest, that's like the norm in the hood. There's nothing surprising about that. And kids are getting killed in his age bracket. They're getting killed every day. The only reason we're hearing about this is because Bandman Kevo is a social media influencer. You know, pretty much he has a following, and he actually posted it. So I wouldn't go so far as to say that he don't care about his son, but what I would say is it seems like this is a relationship that he had with a female that didn't last too long. She wound up, you know, having a baby, and they wasn't on good terms. You know, they lived in two different states, two different areas. They really ain't rock, you know, really ain't rock like that. So at the end of the day, I think it was more so a situation that he got her pregnant and felt his only obligation is, you know, was to pay for the fact that, you know, he had a kid out there in the world, and it is what it is. He didn't expect this to go like this. She didn't expect it to go like that. She knew that her son was out there running the street. The son knew that he was out there running the streets. Bandman Kevo know he was out there running the streets. And it just seemed like everybody kind of let the young man live his life. And that's the life he chose, so that's the consequences that he get, as sad as it may be. And it's not saying that it's right that he got killed, but this is happening all over America. And these children are out here trying to make their own decisions. They listening to this music. They trying to be gang. They want to run around with these guns with the extended clips because they feel it's the thing to do. And they don't realize that there's consequences that come behind this lifestyle. So let this be an example to the rest of you young men out there, you young women out there, you teenagers out there, that this is the result when you decide that you're going to want to live that life. Whether you listen to your parents or not, if you out here trying to make your own decisions, then guess what? You're going to have to pay the consequences for your decision. And I see so many videos, you know, of kids that get in trouble with the law, be it for murder, you know, for robbery, for breaking the law or whatever. And one of the first things that they do is call for their parents. When they get in trouble and going to court and going back and forth to jail, the first person that's there is their parents. They reach out for their parents, or they cry out for their parents when they get in trouble, but they don't want to do the things that they need to do to make their parents proud. So based on this whole situation, you know, what I would say is, man, Bandman Kevo, he could have did a better job. He could have been more active in his child's life, but the fact that he didn't is not the reason why his child got killed, because his child decided to make the decisions that he made. His child was out here running around and doing the things that he was doing, and all of those adults, all of those grown-ups that was in his life, that were more close to him, that saw him on a daily and regular basis, they knew what he was doing. The streets knew what he was doing, and nobody out there tried to make it possible to put any effort into him to change his life. Or maybe they did, and he just chose his own path. He just happened to be Bandman Kevo, whatever you know. So I want to say shout out to Bandman Kevo, man. You're an inspiration to so many people. You taught so many people how to hustle. You show how many people, you know, how to get to a bag. You know, it's unfortunate what happened, rest in peace and condolences, you know, to you, your family, as well as to your son Lil Sticks and his family. And again, allow this to be a lesson that this is not how kids supposed to be living their life, because this is the results of them actions. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Do y'all think Bandman Kevo is responsible? Do you think he's not responsible? Do you think that most of the blame or some of the blame should go to his other family? Or do you feel that the blame should rest exactly where it was, with the young man who made those decisions and pretty much got the results that he got? I just give you the information. It's up to you to determine what you want to do with it, because at the end of the day, we're just trying to find out what's really good. Me, I just wanted to give a different perspective on this and give both sides of the coin, so that you don't crucify Bandman Kevo or talk about you want to cancel him and he should be canceled and he don't care about this and he don't care about that. It's like, listen, when our kids make decisions, they are responsible. Our job as parents is to be there for them in the best way that we can. And some of these kids, they don't want you to be there for them. You know, some do. The ones that do are the ones that's successful. The ones that don't want to listen and want to do whatever it is that they want, you know, they get the results they get. It is what it is, man. But again, make sure you check out my community, the community portion of this YouTube page. You know, I drop information there. Make sure you check out my shorts if you want to hear morning inspirational information. I'll be dropping some jewels on that. Make sure you check out my other videos. You know, I got a lot of videos that I'm discussing various topics, giving my perspective. Again, appreciate y'all for looking at the videos, for rocking with me. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Turn on post game notifications, so in this way you can be notified every time I drop a video. I'm going to be right back at you, because you know how we do. It gets spicy on the side, but it get real on the side, and we really be talking about what's really, really good. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all afternoon, y'all evening, y'all morning, whatever time frame it is. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Tyrone Hunter, what's really good?